Okay, these are the sentences in the ablative absolute that you have to do for your assignment. So I will go over them, and I will expect you to write out your translations and hand them to me, and I will post it as it'll be posted as an assignment. Me duke is your ablative absolute. Me is the ablative of ego mei mihi me duke from dux ducus, and you have to imply the verb to be. So literally it means with me being the leader, or while I am the leader, because I am the leader. And then you have catere poteret. Poteret, your main verb, it's future, and then catere is your infinitive. He or she will be able, this is from Possum, catere, to withdraw or to yield. So with me as the leader, he or she will be able to yield, or since I am the leader, or while I am the leader, something like that. Number 2, you have opido, which is a town, in the ablative, and capto, perfect passive participle. Then you have dux hostes delewit. So opido, capto would be literally with the town having been captured. Okay. The leader destroyed the enemies, or the enemy, if you just want to use it that way. To make it pretty, you can make it pretty with because or after the town had been captured, something like that. Number 3, his dictis. We've looked at this one before, or this idea with his being the ablative of hic haec hoc. So these things, and then dictis is to say, having been said. So with these things having been said, redierunt, they went back or returned domum, home. You can say when they had said these things, after they had said these things, when these things had been said, after these things had been said, something like that. Number 4, you have omnibus, which is ablative plural. That's just all, probably like everyone here. Eam is her, direct object. And why can we have a direct object here? Because amantibus is a present participle. Present active participles can have direct objects. Loving. So this one makes a little bit of sense, not as much as I would like. So with everyone loving her, or it, who knows what that aeon is, I was able to perish. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, but the point is, it's with everyone being able, with everyone loving her, I was able to perish. Number 5, or since, something like that. Although, hoc audito is again like his dictis, but it's singular. With this thing having been heard, or with this person having been heard. I think you could do either one. With him having been heard, or this thing having been heard. Omnes, everyone. Optaverunt, desired to flee. So after this had been heard, after they had heard this, everyone desired to flee because they had heard this, something like that. I think we already did number 6. So te laborante, with you working. Possum, I am able, facere, to do, multa, accusative, direct object, many things, neuter. So while you are working, since you are working, something like that. Number 7 is a quote from Horace. So, quid rides, sort of, a quid is, what are you laughing at? Or even why you're laughing. Why are you laughing? What are you laughing at? And then you have mutato nomine, which is nomine, name, mutato, changed. With the name having been changed, the fabula, the story, narrator, is told de te, about you. So this story is told about you with the name having been changed. This is Horace saying, why are you laughing at the story? I'm actually mocking you. Anyway, that's some authentic Latin for you. Now, for these are a little bit more difficult. I actually did provide the answers here. So we did this one in class. So when he heard these things, which is really saying when these things had been heard, which you'd need his auditis. Okay. His auditis ire non cupivit. So you need the perfect passive participle with his. Since the enemy has been conquered, I decided to do it plural. Again, we did this one too. We did the first three. Hostibus victis otium speramus. And then under my leadership is really saying, with me being the leader, me duce, for a long time, the city is, or the state is safe. All right, and then the next three you haven't had yet. Although danger has been avoided. So you'd need, this is, another way you can do these is what we call a concessive clause. So you're saying although, if the main verb and the ablative absolute are saying sort of opposite things or contrary things, then you can use the word although. So you have here periculo, the danger, having been avoided. Vitato, vitare, to avoid. Okay, vitato, perfect passive participle. Dux manere cupivit, the leader wished to remain or desired to remain. Okay, when these things were said by the Senate. I like this one because you have this literally when these things were said, his dictis, but we can actually add an ablative of agent with a perfect passive participle, and you put it within, tucked into the ablative absolute. So you would have the noun or the pronoun plus whatever the prepositional phrase is, and then the participle. And so it's usually like a sandwich where you'd have the participle phrase would have the noun or the pronoun, and the participle as sort of the bread, and then inside, like the peanut butter and jelly would be the actual, whether it's usually a prepositional phrase or the direct object, but it's usually couched within that phrase. So this would be, with these things having been said, a senatu, by the Senate, mox fugit, he soon fled. Okay? And you have here, since the flies are eating us. So remember, the eating is present participle, which has to be declined in the third declension. The flies are musca. So you have muscis is the ablative plural. And then you have nos is the direct object of, so this would be the direct object. If you wanted to, we could make that, okay, of this ablative absolute mordentibus. So with the flies eating us, and then you have take back your rotten food. You need an imperative here, recipe, and then you can use your as just tuum, cibum, putrem, or istum has that idea of that food of yours, like sort of like you, I don't like you, kind of a negative use of that. And then the last one, you have, although the soldiers were fleeing. Here again, you have that concessive clause, where what's happening in the ablative absolute is different from what's happening in the main verb. And so you have here, with the soldiers fleeing, so present participle. Soldiers in the ablative plural is militibus, and then the ablative of fugio is fugientibus, and then Fabius, at Rome, you'd use the genitive here for at Rome, manebat or mansit. I would accept either one. He was remaining, or he remained, make it perfect. Either way, I would accept both of those.